purest fire with pain, blood, and the dead. Why keepest thou returning? Over and over. What bringeth thee here?
Hi, I'm Don Schmocker, co-founder of Automotive, and today at Awesome Indies with IGN, we'll be exploring the gameplay design of Far Changing Tides, the next adventure in the Far universe. While most of the game takes place on the ship, you'll need to get your feet wet at points. Today we're looking at how the furnace and engine play a key part in your exploration. Gameplay is built around learning new skills and abilities of the vessel, but the player will first get introduced to them in a puzzle area, something our fans will instantly recognize. We designed these puzzles to become gradually more complex over time, with new features and steps to completion as you unlock later and bigger upgrades. In Lone Sails, we brought players outside of the land vehicle, the locomotive, on a few occasions. With changing tides, we built a more complex, much larger ship with new features and wanted puzzles to reflect that, while also teaching players the skills they need. When designing our puzzles, we always ask, what do we want the players to experience, and what do they have to learn? How can they have a strong connection and dependency to the ship abilities? In this area, the furnace gets introduced, which is one of the more complex features in the game, so we had to teach each mechanic separately until they finally come together in the train. In Changing Tides, we wanted the puzzle areas to feel important to the far world, so we also tease parts of the story for players to learn and to find little secrets. This is just a small piece of a much larger experience, a whole new part of the Far universe. We'll be revealing more exciting new things later today, so keep an eye out and we'll see you at launch in early 2022.
Where there's people, there's crime. Crime makes people lose their nerve. But all it takes is a couple tricks. Having your back against a wall? Call Lottie. When things heat up, she keeps it cool. If there's any way around, she'll find it. I want to dot the I's and cross the T's in one swift motion. Want results? She's your girl. Slaughterhouse, you say? I got a guy for that, too. Yeah, I know what wise guys call him. He's earned the name. Al has his own style, see? A bit eccentric, I admit. But it's damn effective. He can get a little unhinged. But, well, it's nothing like it used to be. We licked him into shape. Whenever someone asks me if a little crazy gets the job done, I say, you betcha. Aaron, the computer jock. The odd one out in our lineup. It don't make any sense, right? Wrong. The thing is, when people look at her, they see just a kid. Someone unimportant, blending in with the crowd. Screaming for attention, but worthy of none. They don't see the threat. Lives erased with just a couple of clicks. She's what comes next. A cleaner of a different breed. She operates high-tech stuff I can barely... She operates high-tech stuff I can barely comprehend. All in all, maybe she is a viper. That's what I do. I clean up murder scenes. Whatever the mess you make, I've seen it before. Crime makes people lose their nerve. Unnerved people do stupid things. Stupid things get them in trouble. That's where I come in. There are a few rules to make it in this line of work. Move without sound. Clean without emotion. Disappear without a trace. Pace yourself. The dance-off begins. Out of sight, out of mind. It's really that simple. I'm Bob Leader. I solve problems.
No, sire. I'm struggling to find the intelligence of this rogue AI. To spit on your creators and then what? Retreat to a failed colony planet?
Machine sighted, sire. Preparing to engage.
Truth lies beneath the surface. Vashti's dreams dispel your lenses. Your yoke is broken. Embrace this earth and trust it.
They bore into the heart of Sheol. They drink its blood to power their machines. Feel its cries in your marrow. Retrieve the hand. Leave none alive. Spill blood for the god below.
Meet Squadron 51. A rebel alliance formed by highly skilled pilots that are willing to give their lives to save the Earth from the hands of dreadful imperialist aliens. Flying saucers have invaded our planet. The whole world is under attack. But fear not. I repeat, fear not. Please make way for Squadron 51. Are you ready? You'll still have to wait to meet the full experience of Squadron 51. But beware, Squadron 51 Prologue will soon be available. 3 levels of marvelous excitement will be there waiting for you.
Será uma longa noite, senhores.
Enlist now and be a part of Squadron 51. Without you, our planet is unfortunately doomed.
Detective, you may not know me yet. I want to play a game with you. Do you think death is the ultimate relief?
Your life and death
Or just part of my plan? Good. You're trying so hard to find an answer. Now, you see me.
I always wanted to be your loyal servant. But I was blinded by faith. I believed that you would protect me. But you took everything from me. So take my faith back. I reject this place! I reject
tragic tandem, using light and shadows, looking for Thomas Kane, the missing son of famous magicians. In tandem, you will switch between Emma and Fenton in 2 dimensions. Emma needs to create the correct shadows with her lantern, so Fenton can walk on them and reach the crystal. Shadows can be created in many ways, as each chapter offers fun new ways to solve puzzles. And of course, Emma and Fenton working together is the only way to progress. Many challenges and dangers await our 2 friends, and their progress will be complicated by strange enemies. They will also be faced with puzzles requiring speed and dexterity. At the end of each chapter, they will use everything they have learned to contend with a massive, horrifying creature. Emma and Fenton will have to travel through 5 bizarre areas of the mansion to find out more about Thomas's disappearance. Will you find Thomas Kane and solve the mystery?
Oh, hi, I'm the developer, and my game Terrorbane is so perfect you don't actually need to see it. So this trailer is over. We're done here. Bye. Okay, there's still a few bugs in here, but why don't you take a different path? Don't worry, guys. I'll fix everything with the day 1 patch.
Everybody died, but the fun is still dodging the bullet hell, and he is ass-fished. You just died. How do you feel about it? This is the Crackhead Show. The champions are on their way to the arena. A quick recap for our fans. The rules are super simple. To avoid killing us all, the animals can shoot only while standing still. Victory is secondary to becoming famous. Gain likes to enter next episodes. In our show, we want the heroes to milk their popularity. Shoot, loot, and fight your dude. You are watching this live thanks to our great sponsors who provide many tools of destruction. In our show, we never jump the shark. But last, we need to revive a companion. In other words, sneak the sunrise past the rooster. Defeat bosses in all the seasons and become a legendary celebrity.
The trees. From the sun, they gave shade. From the wind, they gave shelter. They filtered the water, kept the soil from washing away. They gave us life, but between 2 trees. Now the trees are so far from each other. I am Vavzez, teller of the 13th caravan of the Macabre, the only one still living. As it was for the 12 before us, our mission was to plant a new tree, to serve as a city for climatic refugees. we join the many who failed in their task. May our experience serve you well, for it is now you, the 14th caravan, who are tasked with continuing the work of the macabre. Escort your botanist to the ends of the world. Create a new haven that the caravan that follows you may go even further, and continue our quest for knowledge that will one day allow the 15th, the 16th, the 100th, to repair the ancient folly that made this world hostile to life.
That's what America in the 19th century was all about. Poor farmers, tough men and women sweating in the factories to earn a better future. But from that sad melody emerged another song, the exotic music of the circus, bringing magic and excitement that lit the darkness of an everyday life. Once upon a time, during that marvelous era, a young drifter learned about the death of his good-for-nothing father. Soon, he also found out that he'd inherited from his old man two things: a rundown circus and a dream to make it great. He knew that the president was organizing a circus competition. Now that sounded like a place to be, and an adventure worth a try. Soon, with the help of his uncle, the young ringmaster hired a troupe of exotic artists, illusionists, clowns, strongmen. He had to be ready for any type of audience, be it poor miners, scary bandits, or even whimsical elegant ladies, or ghosts, or Bigfoot. Just about anything that the US of A could offer. Even sharpshooting Buffalo Bill and Annie Oakley, or genius inventors like Henry Ford and Nikola Tesla. Everyone wanted to visit the circus. He had to cross the whole continent, all for the sake of getting to the East Coast on time for performing in front of President Roosevelt and his royal guest, Her Majesty Queen Victoria. All that to snatch from P.T. Barnum the title of the greatest showman on earth, and to win a gig across Europe. You know what? The lucky bastard did it. Or didn't he? After all, this is just a fairy tale, one that America is full of. So maybe you should try to find out for yourself what really happened in that story. In the story of the amazing American circus.
I'm Timo. And I'm Johnny. We are the founding brothers of Soda Den, the developers making Roots of Pacha.
Roots of Pacha is a cozy game about being the first person to form and develop the ideas that shape humanity.
You play as a member of the clan, living in the land between two rivers.
Set in a fictional world, but inspired by our own, we set out to make a co-op game we could play together even though we are miles apart.
We started by imagining our prehistoric selves, looking at fire and asking how we could make it, and then realized that concepts and ideas are the foundations of how we relate to the world.
Who thought that instead of foraging for food, we could actually grow our own?
How did we go from just hunting animals to sharing our homes with them?
Every new material we found sparked ideas that turned into better tools. We found ourselves with a surplus of food, so we created new ways to process and store it for the colder seasons.
Our villages grew because we worked together, and as we cooperated, we began to reach heights that never seemed possible before.
Our lives became enriched with music and the stories we passed down through generations.
And we reached a point where we could create, not just for survival, but to live to our fullest.
Roots of Pacha asks what it means to be an early human, and how our choices brought us to where we are today.
Fires of Industry, the first 30XX major update. It has a brand new level type, a host of new friends to help you conquer it, and much more. The Forgotten Factory, Dustria, is a playground for high-speed kinetic action. Use springs to bounce along wild paths not possible in other levels, then turn the tide of battle by smashing explosives into nearby foes. Tired of aiming? Try Nina's new Jagged Bolt, which bends in midair and adds homing capabilities to her other powers. Master Ace's devastating Ryusei Ground Smash to pulverize foes in style. You don't have to face Dustria's new challenges alone. Fires of Industry adds repros to 30XX, floating friends you can find that'll help out in battle and open up fresh new build options. Lil Hoot here charges up a tornado attack whenever you yourself use a power, and Reboot juices up as you defend against attacks, building into a devastating laser. Find them all and see how they can help you out. This is 30XX's first major content update, but we've been hard at work on the game since its early access launch 6 months ago. In that time, we've more than tripled the number of items and weapons to get equipped with in each run, added wild prototype augs that flip the run on its head, added daily challenges so you can test your mettle against 30XX's best, and greatly improved online play stability. Of course, there's still so much more to come. 30XX's Fires of Industry update is available now on Steam.
Beginning final tests before launch.
Movement functionality works fine.
Great. Initiating time transfer.
Time transfer complete. Successfully arrived in 1995. Local time, 10 a.m. We did it. Movement functionality is damaged. We need to find and reattach the missing wheels as soon as possible. The house is in an awful condition. It looks deserted. I wonder what could have happened.
You, little one, have a very important job to do. I'm counting on you.
We both knew this day was coming.
Get them out of here!
A day to choose between that tyrant on my throne or me. But while battle lines were being drawn, you tarried in your choice, gathering allies.
So it seems I must make the choice for you. Shuffle the atlas. I'll give you war.
You've traveled far, but you finally made it to your new home. The town of evil. Excited to start your new life? Well, not so fast. Evil is filled with mysterious murders, and we need your help. Take on one of the many roles evil has to offer you, such as the Seer, Trapper, or Guard, along with other possible roles to aid you. Work together with the other townsfolk to root out the evil that lurks in the shadows. Gather at the center of town and share your accusations with the others. Once accused, place your votes and throw the convicted in the cage to be judged. Be sure not to wrongly accuse someone, because if you are wrong... Hey, are you even listening? Can't you see what's happening right now? Someone is literally on fire. On with you! Go! Go! Go buy a tripwire for your house or a lock for your door. Now, where were we? Take on quests to restore order and explore areas like the fortress ruins to gather resources you need to craft items like protection potions, antidotes, or even a vial of deadly poison. As night falls over evil, chaos will roam its streets. Without protection, you may fall victim to those who roam the night. If you're lucky enough to be woken up, run for as long as you can and hope they don't catch you. If you survive the night, hurry to the town center. Share with the others what you saw. With careful thinking and a little luck, you'll be able to discover and rid of the murderers who plague the town of evil. But death is not the end in evil. If you are unlucky enough to face an untimely death, you'll awaken into the underworld, a new world for you to explore. Being dead in evil does not mean you are left to watch the living continue on with their days. Your new world is filled with new adventures and spirits that need your help. Revisit the world of the living and help out these lost souls while your fellow villagers fight for their lives. Helping these spirits will reward you with spirit tokens. This currency allows you to learn new abilities to help and alter the fate of the living. It is up to you how you want to help out the other players. Awaken an endangered citizen to save them from death. Lend them some coins or heal them to get the upper hand. Being among the dead no longer counts you out of the fate of the town of evil. So the question is, what will you do amongst the dead?
Fate brought us here.
stranded on this unknown continent. Fate conspired against us. But together, we built a settlement. We ventured into the unknown. We gathered knowledge. We established a society. We survived harsh winters and resisted the onslaught of a mysterious population. We conducted experiments and we made sacrifices in an attempt to escape our fate. Fate. Oh, cruel fate.
Welcome to the first day of your exciting career at United Corporations. You'll collaborate synergistically in a team of 3 to meet company objectives. Teamwork and strategy are key. Utilize bleeding-edge drone technology to assist coworkers and identify competitors. You'll learn to disrupt, circle back, employ cloud-based solutions, and take discussions offline. We're not a faceless corporation. Just ask one of our thousands of HR executives. Your future is bright at United Corporations. Lorem ipsum dolor.
That's Latin.
Nine to 5, a new shooter with 3 teams of 3. Download now.
Studios, and for the past 3 years I've been working on a game called Falling Frontier. It's a sci-fi strategy game that just mixes the close action of naval combat as well as the grand scale of building throughout a star system. It focuses heavily on line of sight mechanics and really visceral combat systems that are layered upon each other. So you'll see projectiles bouncing off of ships, penetrating the whole way through, oxygen venting out the other side. You'll see crew trying to get out, and you'll see these really large explosions, and the ships just get torn apart by physics, and they go everywhere. It's fantastic to watch. There's a whole bunch of celestial bodies and a whole range of other places to explore, like a nebula. Ships travel faster than light. They have to jump between points and they consume fuel. Crew have to eat, so they consume food, and of course ships spend munitions whenever they fire. So there's all of these logistical considerations to actually think about when you're actually playing the game. So it's got a lot of the classic things that you would find in a normal RTS, like base building, but it also borrows different elements from the 4X genre, such as ship design, and you can actually come into this ship editor and you can change the different types of weapons that you put on a ship. These all get unlocked via research, and you can just have these custom configurations to just really suit your actual purposes for your flotillas. Further to that, you've also got ship internals as well. So every ship has a bridge, crew quarters, jump drive, engines, stuff like that, and again you can unlock different components and apply these to every ship just to have a really unique customized flotilla. But you can also add special abilities like the ability to lay a minefield, or perhaps attach a ship to maybe the underside of an asteroid so it can lay in wait and perhaps do a bit of an ambush or perhaps do a bit of recon. There's really a whole bunch of different options, and it's just really exciting just to have all of these things jammed into sort of an old school RTS. As well, you've got crew, so you've got both enlisted and also command crew. So command crew are really important. They are physical objects on the actual ships, so they can be killed, injured, and they can also be upgraded too, so they can learn perks and skills that will enhance the ships. And here we've got a ship just jumping into the combat area. As mentioned previously, they are physicalized objects, so they're going to push through different asteroids. Projectiles will bounce off of space stations and ships. Some will penetrate through and cause internal damage. Ships can be disabled or they can be destroyed depending upon what kind of damage they actually take. So you'll see ships just starting to lose control and just sort of list away into the distance. You'll see crew trying to actually just escape, which can be captured if it's an enemy crew, or they can be rescued if they're friendly crew. In the event that you capture crew, then they can be interrogated, and perhaps you can find out some different bits of information about your opponent's ship movements, or perhaps their actual installations. So we can see this space station that's just been destroyed. You need a classic blue light for a big explosion. It's almost a requirement for a science fiction. And you just see this hulking mass just on fire with smoke and flames going everywhere. So yeah, that just kind of sums up what Falling Frontier is, just this visceral space combat experience. Thank you for taking the time to check this out, and yeah, just look forward to seeing you in game. Thank you so much.
Hello, Game Gamescom! My name is Michał and I'm the communication manager for Timberborn, which is a post-apocalyptic city builder full of beavers. Timberborn is set on Earth where humans are gone but beavers are not. The world alternates between wet and dry seasons, and the beavers use their engineering skills to survive the deadly droughts. Timberborn is coming to early access very soon, and today we're gonna show you the second playable beaver faction. Enjoy!
Stepping across 1,000 years takes only a moment. This is a different time. Filled with castles and high stone walls. With great temples in honor of a god you do not know. And heresy is swiftly punished. While magic hides in mountain caves and deep forests. Away from mortal eyes. Where will you go, Torchbearer, to continue your story? Where will you seek your lost companions? Will you find mortals reborn in the villages of Galicia? So full of lively taverns. Boisterous brothels. Will you brave the dark dungeons of the Grand Inquisitor? Where imprisoned immortals are caged. Or enter the castle of the Knights Templar. Who will accompany you on this journey to save the past of the Celts from the future? Find and awaken these old souls, for the fate of magic is at stake.
The flood. I don't remember when it started. Most of them fled. Others came knocking at my door. We started to rebuild a village, but... Take refuge in the lighthouse, quickly! The lulls are always short-lived, and storms turn weeks of effort to dust. We won't let it get us down. Where there's life, there's hope. With each new arrival, we build new buildings, develop new skills, and provide more manpower so that no one goes to bed hungry. we're holding on. And until the next storm.
Cristiana Serra, Marmalade Game Studios Head of Studio in Lisbon, and I'm here to talk to you about Jumanji: The Curse Returns. So in making this game, we have created a mashup of a board game plus a co-op adventure, and we're pretty sure you haven't played anything like it before. If you always wished you could play Jumanji for real, this is it. We made sure the gameplay mechanics are easy to pick up, but time restrictions keep up the pace as you match and share items. The emphasis is definitely on working together and having fun. Jumanji itself is a board game. There are 4 players and the goal is to reach the center of the board. It sounds simple, but as we all know, Jumanji contains a magical jungle that wants to escape into the real world. If you make it to the jewel in the middle of the board, the entire jungle and creatures brought with it will be sucked back into the game. So Jumanji is literally fighting to stop you from reaching the finish. Every time you roll the dice, a riddle appears in a jewel, and each riddle reveals a clue as to what challenge you'll face next. In the 1995 movie, all kinds of crazy creatures come out of the board. We're talking giant bats and mosquitoes, a lion, right the way through to a whole stampede. The gameplay itself is straightforward fun that requires speed and cooperation in order to win each round. Every player has your token and a stash of items. You have to use the right item at the right time to banish the danger. When you get this right, your token charges a little, and when it's fully charged, you can use your token's power, which matches any item you might need. Each round demands teamwork. You'll be facing whatever danger comes out of the board, plus jungle vines, which will always try to ensnare you. And if Jumanji sets the hunter Van Pelt loose, he'll appear when you least expect it and try to disable you and your team. In the movie, all 4 players work together to beat Jumanji, so we really wanted 4 players in the game. But there are lots of player modes. You can play solo with 3 AI team members, play co-op with 3 friends or family members, play with 1 or 2 friends with AI characters making up for any missing players, or play an open online game with people around the world. The choice is yours. The most important thing is that you win or lose together as a team. If you don't manage to beat the jungle, you'll lose a location to Jumanji. And if you lose all 5 locations to the game, Jumanji wins. If you're a fan of the franchise, if you want to connect with friends, or if you love board games, this really is the co-op adventure for you. So Jumanji: The Curse Returns is coming soon to Steam and Nintendo Switch.
Season 1 is all about Super Animal World, the safari park that plays host to the world's most adorable fight to the death. And many of the cosmetic items you can unlock are themed after the fine park establishments that you can also visit in-game. The Animal Pass contains 49 tiers of exclusive content to unlock, but unlike most passes, it lets you complete it at your own pace. This is thanks to a new feature we call the Archive, where rather than expiring at the end of a season, old passes remain available for purchase, or to reactivate if you already own them. This reduces the pressure of racing to complete the season, and also makes it so that you can work on 2 at once.
We're also excited to say that as of today, your super animal can finally have its very own animal as a pet. The Super Animal World scientists have outdone themselves on this one, shrinking dangerous beasts like bears and tigers to a much more manageable and adorable size. They're not exactly tame, but at least they're mini enough to prevent serious maulings. They're purely cosmetic and match the player's line of sight so they won't reveal you unintentionally during battle. They'll follow you around while you're alive and sleep faithfully by your gravestone if you're not so fortunate. To start, there's 8 mini animals for purchase in the Saw Shop, as well as a mini capybara in the Animal Pass. The mini animals also have their own new point of interest for you to explore on the island. Mini Ranch expands Super Animal Farm to the east, and the first building you'll probably notice when you arrive is Mini Mart. This is a special branch of the Saw Shop where Super Animal World Park guests would originally adopt their mini animals. It also features a petting zoo, where you can still see some mini animals and show them some love.
We're also proud to say that we finally have our first super amphibian, the Super Frog. There are 5 total breeds of super frogs to unlock, bringing the total number of breeds in Super Animal Royale to 358. You can unlock the frog in the research lab, starting at level 30, and I'm not going to say hop into battle, because even though super animals are pretty great at hopping, super frogs actually aren't any better at it than anyone else.
Season 1 also brings 2 new power-ups and refinements to existing power-ups. Saw Impossible Tape breaks the laws of physics to instantly repair your opponent's body armor when they die, so that you can pick it up good as new. And the Bandolier increases your max carrying capacity for ammo, super tape, grenades, and most importantly, bananas. For all the changes to existing power-ups, be sure to check out the patch notes. But highlights include the skunk gas snorkel and claw boots that give you extra traction in shallow water.
Hello, and welcome to an exclusive first look at gameplay from Assetto Corsa Competizione running on Gen 9 console.
Green light, go, go, go. Car on the left. Clear on the left.
Coming out for PS5 and Xbox One Series S and X on the 24th of February 2022, the Gen 9 version comes with some pretty impressive improvements over its predecessor. Frame rate has been hiked from 30 to 60 frames per second, giving a much smoother look and feel to gameplay. Gen 9 will also feature free private lobbies enabling you and your friends to meet up for an organised race session, as well as updated liveries from the 2021 season. Perhaps the best news of all is that if you already own the PS4 or Xbox One version of the Assetto Corsa Competizione, you will automatically upgrade to the Gen 9 version when it releases in February. All your owned DLC and save games will also transfer over to the new version of the game. For now, sit back, relax, and take in some exclusive gameplay from this pre-release version of Assetto Corsa Competizione.
Green light, go, go, go. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the right. Clear on the right. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the left. Clear on the left. Car on the right. Three wide. Clear on the right. All clear.
For more information on Assetto Corsa, be sure to check out the Assetto Corsa 2021 showcase on the 27th of August, where we'll be taking a deeper look into what's planned next for the festival.
Ever had one of those days when you wake up on an unknown planet after being frozen for 350 years? Secrets, hidden technologies, battles to be fought. Stories to be told. My stories. I am the last Aura crew.
Land that threatens all life. Not a wasteland or the site of a natural disaster, but an abscess through which the mortal world bleeds into the abyss. 100 years ago, this realm was teeming with life. Gardens flourished and cities thrived here. But now, death reigns over all. There are no common folk here. Only those who are willing to risk everything to defend the world against the endless hunger of the abyss. Or to win glory. To answer the call of forbidden knowledge. To rise above the fate prescribed to mortals. And you? What has brought you here? Are you ready to fight? Are you ready to lead? Are you ready to ascend? And if you're ready, which path will you choose? How will your power manifest? Will it breathe new life into the corrupted lands, or kill them off for good? Will you be a beacon of light in the darkness, or an island of chaos and madness? Who will follow you? Saints or sinners? Mortals or beings from other planes of existence? Who will you become for them? A commander? A prophet? A friend? Something more? Or will mortal pawns and their feelings no longer interest you at all? Only you can answer these questions. Only you can decide which path to take. The choice is yours, Crusader.
Hello everyone, my name is Sasha and today I'm here to tell you about our game Medieval Dynasty and give you a glimpse of the content that is coming in the near future. For those who may not know, Medieval Dynasty is a mixture of survival, life sim, light RPG and a city builder based in medieval Europe. You're starting your journey in an open world land looking to find a new home. As you discover the lands and start a settlement of your own, more and more people will come to your village, helping you grow not only your tribe, but also your reputation within the lands. And as you and your village grows, there will come a time where you might meet the right partner to start a family of your own, and that's when your dynasty begins. We released Medieval Dynasty in September of last year as an early access title, and now we are happy to tell you that the full 1.0 release of Medieval Dynasty is coming on the 23rd of September. During all this time in early access, we received a lot of valuable feedback from our community. Feedback on balancing, new building suggestions, gameplay improvements and loads more. They really helped out us a lot with this project. We followed their lead and added many additions to the game based on what they suggested. Our players formed a really tight community and we are proud of what Medieval Dynasty has become, not just as a game, but a collective of people as well. Your most important job in the game is to survive. To do that, you need to make sure you don't starve, die of thirst, don't get frozen to death or be killed by a wild animal. To eat, you can cultivate the land or hunt in order to get valuable protein. To hunt, however, you need weapons, and to grow crops, you need tools, and those you need to make yourself. No one said surviving is easy. There are many tools, resources, items, foods, weapons and more that you can craft and create. The power of muscle and fire can work wonders, and with time and experience you will be able to create more complex things. Once your basic needs have been met, it's time to head out to explore new lands. Who knows what's hiding out there? For closer trips, a bottle of water and a snack will totally be enough. For those further afield, a trusted steed will be essential. On the back of your horse, long distances are no obstacle. And if you find something worth picking up along the way, your four-legged companion will help you with that too. After all, any journey with a friend is much more interesting. Plus, it's nice to have an extra bag to carry things on. On the back of your horse, you can go into one of the many wild forests surrounding you and hunt wild animals. Hunting is a great way to get food for your family, your village and for yourself. But you must be careful. Those wild creatures can kill you too. Have you been lucky enough and managed to catch a bear? If you have, well, that's a good catch. The meat from it will keep you full for a while, but first we need to cook it. Light the fire and simply roast a piece of meat, or be a little more inventive and cook something more complicated. Just a few extra ingredients, a bit of culinary love, and it's done. And if you're craving a little sweetness, how about some honey? It's not difficult, just build a hive and you can enjoy this golden nectar every day. The sugar from the honey will give you energy to keep going, and of course, to tend to the beehive, or in fact any building in your village, you can assign one of your people to tend to the tasks while you, as the leader, can plan the next move. If you happen to be short of an ingredient or simply want to sell some of your stock to make some money, set up a market stall. You can sell food, weapons, tools and even clothes. It's a perfect way to make some extra gold on the items that your village produces. In addition to cultivating the field, you can also set up an orchard and enjoy harvesting fruits. Once ripe, harvest and eat them or use them to make refreshing juices. And if juices are not to your liking, how about a pint of cold, refreshing beer after a hard day's work? You can drink it together with other villagers in a nearby tavern. One of the most requested structures from our community was the well. If your settlement is located far from a river, don't worry. A well will ensure villagers have access to clean drinking water. It will also help you make sure that you or your people don't die from thirst on those long summer days. And who is this handsome fellow up here? It's a donkey. He might look a bit small, especially next to the horse, but not let that fool you. Sure, he might not be fast either, but this little friend is capable of carrying large amounts of load. A perfect companion for a large fishing expedition to a nearby lake or river. With 1.0 Medieval Dynasty full release along with other features, we will add herbalism to the game. Collect herbs and plants and make yourself unique mixtures. If you eat something that you shouldn't really eat, don't worry. Drink a potion and get rid of those tormenting alignments. And there will even be mixtures that will allow you to see at night. And finally, although it all might seem very peaceful, one of the new additions that is coming to the final version are bandits. These outlaws will set their camps in various locations around the lands, so be careful while you travel. They are not friendly people. Thank you for watching our video, and we hope that you enjoyed this little glimpse into our game.
Giant mecha battles. The action in Wolfstride definitely looks awesome. In this video, we want to take you into the game for a look at the substance behind the style. Meet the Cowboy, a one-of-a-kind P1 Gallo Model 7. Its former pilot made a career of being the ultimate underdog. Before you settle into the cockpit to try your hand at continuing that legend, it takes a team to get this bad boy ready. Leading that effort is Dominic Shade, former Yakuza. Between fights, Shade gets out around Rain City, meets locals, makes friends, and picks up work whenever he can to get some extra cash to add to the winnings from the arena. Like this one, where he's sifting through junk for the good stuff while avoiding the angry junk eaters he's disturbed. Quick reflexes will rack up bonuses, and with it, extra cash. Back at the hangar, Shay gets to spend all that money from wins and work. He has a lot to choose from. There are new attack and defense skills for our pilot, Knife Leopard, and a number of system upgrades for the Cowboy. There are 3 primary resources to work with in combat: movement points, action points, and ammo. This offers a number of options to put together the right pieces to match your pilot skills. And before you know it, you'll land that winning shot. Follow and wishlist Wolfstride on Steam now.
For their evils against Troy, King Agamemnon, his spineless brother Menelaus, and their housebroken cur Achilles will be undone. Their invasion is thwarted, their forces shattered, and Troy stands unbroken! Defeat is not punishment enough. Far too long have we hid behind these walls, but no longer! Paris, sail to Sparta. Take your men to Menelaus' door and finish what you started. My cousin, Aeneas, take Thyre and the head of Achilles. Show that rabid dog the true bite of a Trojan blade. I will rip Mycenae from King Agamemnon's hands. Let him witness his vision for Troy fulfilled on his own city, his own people, his own home! Let these men 3 be cursed, their souls delivered to Hades, their legacies unwoven! Let their very names be nothing more than myth.
Scientifically classified as a Helix pomatia is a snail with the ability to do a badass entrance walk. Clid the snail is an intelligent creature that can fire weapons. Use powered shells against threats. And solve complex puzzles. This particular being has been exiled for its problematic behavior. And now, he has joined a new path. The snail has a new purpose: to exterminate the slug plague. Will this fascinating individual survive his dangerous adventure? Get Snail